Good evening and welcome to Ben Shatliff on Sunday. It is Sunday, December 3rd, 2023. This week on the programme, he's back. My father, Frank Shatliff, talking about the work he's doing for Wood Street Mission this Friday with One New Toy 2023. We're talking to him in a few minutes' time. Also, we will have a look at some of the headlines which have been affecting over recent times as well. But before that, let's just take a look, as I've been doing over recent weeks, by just opening the Bible and just looking at one specific passage that comes in. So let's go to the nearest thing here. And you need your glasses. Right, okay. But if any nation or kingdom will not serve the Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and put its neck under the yoke of the king of Babylon, I will punish that nation with the sword, with famine, and with pestilence, declares the Lord, until I have consumed it by his hand. So do not listen to your prophets, your diviners, your dreamers, your fortune tellers, or your sorcerers, who are saying to you, you shall not serve the king of Babylon, for it is a lie that they are prophesying to you, with the results that you will be removed far from your land, and I will drive you out, and you will perish. But any nation that will bring its neck under the yoke of the king of Babylon and serve him, I will leave on his own land to work it and dwell there, declares the Lord. That's from Jeremiah. I've said this before, I do not rehearse when I'm looking at that Bible or anything like that. You don't look very happy, but it's nice to show that. But what I was going to say is, I don't look at that beforehand, but it's always amazing how relevant some of these things are in view of certain things which might be going on at the moment. Just a comment there as well.
Not really, Ben. It's all down to the religious bit.
Right, okay. Right, but anyway, so that's one part there from Jeremiah, from verse 20, from chapter 27. Definitely relevant with some of the things which are going on at the moment. Just looking ahead, just looking at some of the news stories which have been affecting today, it was announced earlier on today that US warship and other vessels that are in the Red Sea were hit, possibly by Yemen, although it's not officially been confirmed. Also, British ships in that same area said that they were aware of things going on as well. The former Labour leader, Sir Neil Kinnock, Lord Neil Kinnock's wife, Glenys Kinnock, has died aged 79. And there has been severe weather affecting parts of the United Kingdom with severe snow and cold snaps, which have caused problems for people in Cumbria have been left without electricity. And while this all goes on here in the UK, the war still continues in Ukraine, with temperatures much colder than what they are now, but the soldiers fighting on the front line to bring peace, stability and freedom to the people of Ukraine. I'd like to welcome Frank Shatliff to Ben Shatliff on Sunday. Now, you're here today to talk about Wood Street and about the One New Toy appeal, which you've been doing. This is the fourth consecutive year that you've done the One New Toy appeal, but it does have some origins in terms of something that you used to do as a family years ago, when you used to just get certain stuff together and take it to different local organisations.
That's right. As a family, we've always collected toys around about October. Going shopping and getting a couple of toys here and there. And eventually, we've probably had about half a dozen bagfuls. And we've taken them to usually very social services. And we've handed them in there, and it's been a nice trip handing them in.
Last year, as I said, this is the fourth year that you've done this now under the umbrella of London Toy, where the money goes. Sorry, the collections of toys, and we're going to explain all about that in a few minutes' time, goes to Wood Street Mission, which is in Manchester. Last year, though, you found something out in regards to this you've not realised before, didn't you? In like family history, speaking back about 80 years ago.
Well, that's right. In February coming up, God willing, I'll be 8 years of age. Right? If we could go back 8 years, that brings us to February 1944. I was the
when someone's 8,
I was the youngest of 5.
Right.
So you can imagine how it was, because, you know, Second World War was in full swing. Thousands of people were struggling. This is the story from my parents told me a little bit further down the line. The Luftwaffe was trying to do as much damage as it could to Victoria Station, which is only 15 minutes walk away from where we lived. They were bombed out houses and factories round about. Luckily, our little row managed to survive it. But when those sirens went off, it was all hands to the pumps, and mums and dads getting the kids into the air and shelter. And it was just a horrible time, as loads of people will know. Families were struggling. They were struggling to make ends meet. There was rationing. There was black market. There was always somebody out there trying to make a fast buck. And it's just general, real hardship. And families didn't know which way to turn. It's as simple as that. Everywhere you went, it was queues. You know, for the little simple goods, you know, you're rationing, getting portions of butter if you could get it. All that type of thing. Yeah, what we take for granted now.
Exactly.
There were charities in the area. And where we lived in Cheetham, there was a few charities nearby. One was Charter Street, and one was Sharp Street, and one was Wood Street. Lots of families turned to charities for support and help because they couldn't manage. My family turned to Wood Street. Like I said, I was youngest of 5, so my elder brothers and sisters went to Wood Street and had that little bit of support. So that has always stuck in my mind all these years.
Right.
So when it comes to choosing a charity, when they started the classic commercial road run, there was no sort of stopping thinking.
No.
So that's what we did.
Okay. And of course, you mentioned there personally, because of course, talking there, my own grandmother. So, and you just mentioned there about Charter Street. That building is still there, but I don't actually. Is it still actually in use now? Because in 70, when you think about, sorry, I understand it, and I'm going to ask further questions as we go along, but certain things can come from certain things that are also being said as well. And you mentioned there Charter Street, but I don't actually. Is that actually still going? I know that it still says Charter Street outside, but
well, the building's still there, and as far as I know, the story was or is that it was used for homeless people to go and have a meal.
Right.
That was the last time I heard, but I believe that has been stopped.
Right.
And the people who run that meal thing was looking for somewhere to re-establish it.
Right.
Now I do believe it's in somewhere in Stretford, which is not.
That's on the total different area.
That's right. And then it was Sharp Street, which is just across what we call the burial ground.
Yeah, I think that went years ago. Didn't it?
No, Sharp Street's still there,
right.
But it's like a museum now, which is good because the building itself is part of the history of Manchester today.
Right. But is it still being used then, or is there still something there to give something? I know that the Salford Diocese, the Catholic Diocese, do have somewhere which is, I think it's the Raleigh Centre, which is kind of near Collyhurst, similar near to kind of thing. But because I know there's like Collyhurst Miles Path and that kind of thing, but I know somewhere not too far away. But is that still in the Sharp Street in some form?
I can't answer that question. The last time I was down there, I just walked past the building, I had a look, and I thought, I used to go there.
Yeah.
and there's a nicker.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, it's the building is still there and being preserved, which is absolutely crucial. That's the history.
And just putting into context as well, you talked there about how times were hard. We're coming up to Christmas now, just literally a few weeks away. And I always say I always speak about Christmas 1940, the Manchester Blitz. Not long after you were born, there was the V1, the V2. Putting into what's happening now in Ukraine as well. So people in Manchester, we have lived through similar, so we should be understanding what's happening in Ukraine and putting that out there as well. But also then talking now, so we've looked at the history as to why you had chosen Wood Street as the actual charity. This is the fourth consecutive year you've been doing this. Not just you, I mean obviously you've led on this, but there's lots and lots of other people who are involved. There's the people that get involved actually on the day itself. We're going to talk about all that as well in a moment. So 2000, which is the very first one, times were different because of course at that stage, lockdown, let's not go into lockdown scenario, but then 2021, 2 years ago, in fact I actually remember joining at the end of it when you had a successful day. Last year, no restrictions or anything. This year, what's all planned for Friday or even Thursday evening?
Well, let's start from the beginning because obviously people might be interested. When I was chair of Prestige Carnival, I invited some of these classic commercial vehicles to take part in the parade,
right? Okay.
And it created lots of interest. Right. So when I finished the carnival in 2018. And I helped a couple of charities in between that. I've been on quite a few what you call road runs. That's these classic commercial vehicles going on different routes, and from one destination to another, and people looking at them and everything else, which is great. Right. I've been in quite a few, but the one in question I was on one from Carnforth to the Lake District with a good friend, Glenbarney Owen, who unfortunately passed away. On those trips, I used to have good conversations with Glenn, and I said to him, I wonder what it'd be like trying to bring a classic road run into my hometown of Prestwick.
Right.
So he said to me, well, there's only one way to find out, Frank, and let's have a go.
Right.
So that is exactly what we did. Right. So it's like a charity thing as well.
Okay, but I mean that's the road run. The first one was in 2021. 2 years ago, you had the third one. We've already discussed this earlier on in the year when that was going on. But this is, I know that is kind of like the umbrella now that you use of the Prestwick commercial vehicles. But what I'm saying is, though, in terms of this is like this is the fourth event that you've done in terms of Wood Street.
That's right. So
therefore, and then
it actually stems from the actual road run because obviously the first one, because of COVID, was cancelled. Right. So he meant to say, going further, looking further down the months. I know in my own mind, did lots of families and children on Facebook about this toy field. I called it the One New Toy Field for the Street,
right,
and it took off.
Okay.
In order to do it, make it successful, right, I like to create a little bit of impact. And in doing that, I asked some friends of mine to bring their commercial vehicles classic, right? Okay. And that's exactly what I did.
Right. So therefore, this year, just 5 days away, more people have got involved because you've got various different drop-off points. So, explain in detail now. I mean, on some previous years, you've done something on the Thursday evening, haven't you?
That's right.
So, is anything happening on Thursday evening?
Yes, we'll probably go around. Luckily enough, we've got, like you just said, quite a few people involved. What we call drop-off points.
Yes, exactly.
You've got the pub in Simmers's yeah.
Right.
You've got Maggie's,
which is the St. Margaret's Tavern, Berryhill Road.
Yeah, that's right. And the wonderful Emma Bland, who's a landlady. Then we've got the Scout group across the road, St. Margaret's and St. Margaret's School.
It's the 88th Prestwich,
Yeah.
which is on St Margaret's Road.
And they're helping.
St Margaret's School as well, primary school.
That's right.
Okay.
And then this year we've got Macca's Bar, which is right in Prestwich Precinct.
Okay.
Who up to now have been absolutely fantastic. They've got an event on tonight.
Right. Okay.
Right. It's breakfast comedy.
Right.
And everybody who's coming is invited to bring a toy or a present.
Right.
What can go into our donations.
Right. So
and all the staff there,
right,
which is, I think, so fantastic, really, will be wearing these tops so they know exactly what's going on.
Fantastic. So while we're doing this live on a Sunday evening for a change, there's a comedy show going on as well.
Well,
I hope nobody thinks this is the exactly. That's what I think. But I wonder why you're not there as the well, I don't know, the star turn the act, but and of course this starts though. That you said like Thursday evening. So I'll ask again. So what happens Thursday evening?
Thursday evening, we'll send a vehicle round to collect all the donations.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
And then they'll be stored. Right. Then Friday morning.
Right.
The plan is for two classic vehicles, two classic vehicles were at Morrison's at 9 o'clock in the morning.
And that's Morrison's Whitefield, by the way.
That's right, collecting donations.
Okay.
That has done for the last 4 years.
Yes.
And then we move on from Morrison's at Whitefield down into Tesco Prestwich.
Okay.
For roughly about 11:45 midday on Friday. Right. Then we'll have these vehicles parked up directly opposite the front entrance of Tesco Prestwich.
Mm-hmm.
And people coming in will be able to donate whatever they can. But all the publicity we've got out tells people on the last day that is exactly where we'll be.
Okay.
God willing. Right? And then once about 3:15 in the afternoon, our little convoy with everything we've donated will head down into Wood Street. Right? Okay. Get into Manchester, and Wood Street is the old part of Manchester. It's not very wide, but when our little convoy comes down with these fantastic vehicles, there's no hesitation. Everybody knows about it, right? And Wood Street said of all the donations and whatever, ever, this is the most spectacular entrance we've ever had. So that's good, that really.
That is good. And you're fairly quick on the mark as well, aren't you? Because I remember a couple of years ago, you were already there before I got there. I was thinking, I'll get there and video you arriving, and you were already there.
That's right.
So you mentioned all these places, you mentioned exactly what's going to happen on Friday itself, and of course Thursday evening. Are there any other places that you've not mentioned where people can drop things off, or is there still time? Is it still like, in effect, there's still like 4 full more days in which people can be dropping off toys for children?
Well, we're entering our most crucial bit now.
Well,
right, because
you can't get more crucial, can you?
Well, that's right. The fact is, we want people to donate as much as they can afford. Put it that way.
Right.
We know these times are rough, times are hard. The times are hard 6 years ago.
Times are always hard.
Correct. So if you can drop off at those points we said, that'd be fantastic. Yeah. But the main 2 points is Morrison's and Tesco.
Right.
And now those 2 will be at the end of the road before the straight to Wood.
Indeed. And is there going to be a Father Christmas as well for all the young ones? Or?
Well, hopefully there will be. Yeah. I'm just looking into that now.
Right. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
It's obviously rather busy at this time of the year.
Yeah, that's right. And this is the best part for me, really. Up to the first 3 years, having talks with Wood Street, our little group, with a fantastic group of people, have collected over 5,500 toys in the first 3 years. So that's not bad going now.
Can you put it into values or any kind of like values?
No. The only value I can give to that is the value of helping children who are in a situation through no fault of their own.
Exactly.
And that is the value. That is the value. That is it.
Exactly.
That's the reason I do it. It's the reason other people do.
Yeah, because everybody always says it's always the young ones that suffer.
Of course.
In any kind of a scenario, it's always.
Well, you got to see what's going on now, but I'm not going into that.
Exactly. No.
The fact is, I'm just hoping our toy appeal this year is successful. That's all I want. We get as many toys as we can, and it's not just toys. It's It's gifts from the ages 0 to 14. Right, so it could be whatever. It's all new stuff. And people say to me, well, why should it be new? I said, well, the thing
It's
is,
better, exactly. So
you know,
it's better to have something that's brand new than.
well, it's not that, you're right, but why should a child, like I've said, who's in a situation through no fault of their own, have to settle for second best? That's not the case. Plus, believe it or not, as a psychological effect,
Yes, exactly.
I'm here, I've not got much, but I've got something second hand. That shouldn't be the case.
Nobody is in any way, of course, disputing anything that is second hand, because there are a very good second hand stuff that goes on lots of very, very good, very, very good charities and different organisations. I myself have given some advice stuff away to different organisations, which is what it's all about. Because why, if I do something, well, let somebody else have it. That's what it's all about, and about giving stuff and helping others.
There's always people out there, children in particular, that need other children support.
Exactly.
And we hope we can do that.
Exactly. This is you use this, don't you, for the different events that you do for the.
You're covering over that,
then. But I was covering over because that was one of the former sponsors.
That's right.
That's the reason why I was covering that over. But I mean, that is what the wagons and will this be there on Friday?
No, that one won't. But this one has been a precious carnival for the last 12 years.
Indeed.
No, there'll be a couple more there on Friday. But this is what we did. It's Prestwick Classic Commercial Road Run, and hopefully we'll be doing it again next year.
Okay.
So, but what we do for Wood Street is like an offshoot of that.
Right.
Simple, really.
Okay.
But there's other charities and good causes that have benefited by that. I mean, the first year with this road run, what we do, we get programs printed, right? And what we do is donate the programs to the chosen charity.
Mm-hmm.
The first year it was the Veterans and Creators Living Centre, and they sold the programs, right? And whatever they made on the programs, you get towards their fund. Last year it was the veterans alone, so whatever they made went to their charity.
Right.
This year, 2023, was the 8th Prestwick Scout Group, right? And they actually bowled us over how hard and how much work they did. It was absolutely brilliant. They nailed it. And he's not often to give figures out, but they made between them £1,100. Selling our programs and doing stuff on it.
I think you also had two added values in that as well, didn't you?
We did, yeah, but I mean, that's how they set out and shown people how to do it, and that is exactly what we were saying about. There's the programs. Sell them for whatever you want and make as much money as you want to go into your fund.
Okay.
And if you're doing whatever you're doing over the following year, use it for that.
Once Friday happens and it comes to the end of the day, you put your feet up after a very, very busy day, you and all the others, because of course there's quite a few of you who are there on the day doing various stuff. What kind of happens next then after that? Because of course really everything's all there at Wood Street.
Yeah.
You might still you have on some occasions had people bringing something, haven't you, the last week, even people bringing things here. The cut-off point is of course Thursday evening, but it kind of just...
the cut-off point is the Friday, the 8th of December.
Right.
In other words, if people miss a drop-off point on the Thursday, they can still bring it to Tesco or Morrison's on Friday. That's a cut-off point.
So just remind of those stints. Did you say 10 o'clock at Morrison's?
No, 9 o'clock Morrison's.
9 o'clock at Morrison's up until...
11:15.
Up until 11:15. So that's 2 hours and 15 minutes. Okay?
Well worked out, eh?
Yeah, exactly. And then Tesco...
We'll get there roughly about, say 12:15.
Okay.
We'll have it all. It'll all be turned off by our good friends at Rosper.
Okay.
And But once we get there, take the cones away and park up, and that's where we stand for the next 3 hours, three and a quarter hours.
Okay. So people of Whitefield, Prestwich, okay? Anybody, both of these supermarkets are both off Berry New Road. You can come off the motorway, go to Tesco. You can come off the motorway and end up at Morrison's. Give a little by doing something to help these people that need that help. Times are hard. We can all be struggling. But at the same time, we do something to help others. Right, okay, so that's me trying to sell the situation for you. But also,
sold it there, then,
also,
trying the life out of me.
And I go breathless when I get passionate about things. But also, I just want to mention something else as well. There's a Christmas fair which is happening on Friday afternoon. So after you have been to Morrison's and then after you've been to Tesco, you can just go a bit further up into Prestwich, head towards Sinister, and go to St Margaret's Church of England Primary School, where there's the Christmas fair going on in the afternoon.
Absolutely.
And another good cause there for two very special people who are in their final year at that school that I know a lot of hard work goes on there. That is where I will be once I finish work on Friday. But of course, wishing you all the very, very best for Friday. Is there anything else that you wanted to say?
No, I think we've covered most things really. I mean, obviously the big day is the 8th.
Indeed. Indeed.
You know, hopefully people can come, say hello, and have the photograph taken with one of these vehicles. And that's it really. And you can see us leaving 3:15 and heading down to Wood Street.
Okay. So you've got St Margaret's Church of England Primary School, which is a drop-off point. You've got the St Margaret's Tavern, as well as Tesco and Morrison's. You've mentioned, what is it, Macca's? It's in
Macca's Bar in the precinct.
Okay, but
opposite near the library. Oh, the library's actually. You can drop off at the library as well.
Prestwich Library as well. All of these places, though, apart from Tesco and Morrison's, you can drop off up until Thursday. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. Is there anywhere else that we've missed out?
I can't think of it.
Right, okay. Also, you will see posters about this on social media. So if for any particular reason anybody is unable to get to any of those locations, there is also alternatives, aren't there? Someone is to give you a call or give Janet a call. The numbers are actually there
on the posters.
On the posters and of course on social media as well. So because there might be certain reasons why people are unable to, of course, with the weather being a bit well and truly icy dicey as it stands at the moment. Right, okay. Was there anything else?
No, that's it really. It's all down to support of the good people from our area, really.
Exactly.
And, you know, the thing is, it doesn't cost a lot of money for a new toy.
Of course it doesn't.
You know, I mean, up until a few weeks ago when Quality Save changed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now
it's
became
changed now. But before that, you could go in there and get a little toy, new,
yeah,
for about £3.
Okay.
I know for a fact that quite a few school children use the pocket money to buy a little toy. And, you know,
yeah,
that's absolutely brilliant.
Which brings more tears to the eyes in that scenario, but also something else. If anyone is unsure what you need to do in regards to doing this, about what to get or anything at all, well, quite easy. All you need to do is actually walk into the supermarkets and actually think, well, okay, this will be okay, and then hand it in. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, we've got boxes clearly marked for Wood Street in Morrison's, and clearly marked in Tesco for Wood Street.
Okay.
So you know,
and you can still do that now because you even though on the day itself there are still, you can do that now as well as all those other places.
Yeah, we've just been into Tesco this afternoon, and quite honestly, it's nice to see that some of the boxes are filling up already.
Which is good.
So
it's good.
It's good. I'm really looking forward to it. I just hope it's a success for the kids.
And if you see a box that's already full, make it fuller because it can easily be emptied, put in then with all the rest of them, and filled up again. It's as simple as that. Don't be thinking, oh, well, somebody else has already done it. Do it yourself, as simple as that. Right, okay.
Yeah, so just to finish off, one of the best parts for me doing this toy booth for Wood Street was on Christmas Eve itself, right? Because, late evening, I don't go out Christmas Eve, and all the family's asleep.
Asleep. We're getting older now.
When about 11 o'clock at night, half 11, whatever the case may be, when everybody just sleep, the grandkids are asleep and everything else, I'll put my laptop on and put some nice music on and have a glass of red and think to myself, in the morning, there'll be children opening presents, right? What we, as a group, have helped to collect.
Indeed.
And that, to me, is job done. That's it.
Definitely. Well, thank you very much indeed once again for coming on to Ben Shatliff on Sunday. Probably one of our latest editions, actually, but I think it's been worthwhile, and also probably one of our longest. We've actually reached almost 31 minutes, actually.
Gee,
so it makes a change.
Well, anyway, thanks very much, and I do hope, we get quite a few donations.
Indeed. So make sure as well, just a second, you're eager to get off now.
When somebody just rolled up, they've got a toy.
Well, that's fantastic. Don't forget, you can go on Facebook under Frank Shatliff or Janet Politi for more information, and it's also on
Prestwich
Matters as well. So there's a whole variety of different things, and people who are actually working at Tesco and the different supermarkets are all sharing this as well. So it's all definitely around social media. Thank you very much indeed for coming on. All the very best of luck for Friday. Don't forget as well about the Christmas fair at St. Margaret's Church in England on Friday as well. We'll leave you with Holy Is Your Name, which is nice and appropriate, not just for, as always, on Ben Shatliff on Sunday, but of course, in view of everything that's what we've been discussing this evening. I will be back next Sunday at some stage, not exactly sure exactly what time it will be, and I will see you very soon. Until next time, from myself and from Arthur,
Christmas.
It's goodbye and thank you.
Yeah, thanks
for
very
joining
much.
us.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
My soul is filled with joy as I sing to God my Savior. You have looked upon your servant. You have visited your people. mountain, and holy is your name.